Well, hello and welcome to Rosalie's Kitchen. Well, you know the peach season is in and we're going to make the best peach cobbler. Actually, they're going to be little peach pie cobbler tins and you're going to love them. They're like little pot pies, only they're going to be peach cobblers. Well, this is out of my Rosalie Serving Country Cookbook. I'm the author of this cookbook, and this recipe, the filling that is on page 186 and 87, as you can see there. So let's get started and make this wonderful dessert. Oh, you're just going to love it. We're going to start off with 8 cups of peaches, and I have just cut these into medium-sized pieces, just like so. We're going to make all this right into this bowl right here, and into that we're going to add 2 cups of sugar. Now, if your peaches set out for a while and you get disturbed, just sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice over them so they won't tarnish on you. That's what I call it. You know, turn a little brown. So now we're going to add the 2 cups of flour, or the 2 cups of sugar, and we're just going to give that a toss. Then we're going to add to that a 1/4 cup of flour, and we're going to add 3 teaspoons of quick cooking tapioca. So 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. We're just going to go ahead and put that in there. And now we're going to mix this all together, and then we're actually going to put it in our pot here and just let it cook together for about 2 minutes to make a thin syrup. So right now to that we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 teaspoon of our ground cinnamon. This is really going to be good. And we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of our almond extract. And I think this is the secret. Oh, this is just so good. And a teaspoon of our vanilla. So let's get our little teaspoon right out here and add that teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, and now we're just going to toss it all together. Get it all good and tossed. Add it right over here to our pot. And we're going to cook this about 2 minutes just to get it all nice and syrupy so we can put it into our little peach cobbler pot pies. All right. You guys come back here in just a few minutes and we'll be all ready to start our cobbler crust. Well, here we are back, guys, and look at this wonderful syrup. This is made about 3 minutes. Let's just add 3 tablespoons of our butter to this, and we'll just work it in right in that and let it melt right in, the 3 tablespoons of butter, while we're making our cobbler crust. We've turned the heat off, so that'll just go in there and melt really good for us. Okay. We're going to make our wonderful cobbler crust, and I can't wait till you taste it. It's so great. Start off with 3 cups of flour, and let's just use our trusty little bowl here so you all can see. 3 cups of flour. Next, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we want to do that. 2 teaspoons of the baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add buttered flavored Crisco. I just love this. And you can get these in these handy little 1 cup already loaf sizes, and we're going to put that right in here with our wonderful flour, and we're going to go ahead and just start to mix that together with your fingers. So let's do that about 2 minutes till we get it all like little peas, and then we're going to show you how we'll put it together with our milk. Okay, and now you can see how that is like a course meal, and we did that about 3 minutes, just pressing the Crisco into the flour. Now we're going to add 3/4 cup of whole milk and just pour it all around in there, and this will come together just perfect, just like magic. There's no guessing at all. It's going to be the best cobbler crust you could ever hope to make, and there's no guessing. Your 3 cups of flour, your 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, your cup of Crisco shortening, butter flavored, that's really important, and 3/4 cups of whole milk. Now we're ready to turn that out on our board, and we're going to prepare our pans. So be back in just a sec. We'll put that all together. Wow, look at that, how beautiful that just came together. As I said, there's no guesswork with this cobbler crust. It is just absolutely perfect. Okay, now we're going to roll this out, and we're going to cut this into 6 portions to fit our pans. So we're going to go ahead and spray our little pans, and then I want to show you how we're going to fill these, okay? Be back in a sec. Well, our dough has come together, and I've just made it into a nifty little loaf. We're going to cut these in 2-inch pieces, 2-inch squares, and we're just going to come right over here and smash it down, put a little bit of our flour on the board, and we're going to roll this into a nice 7-inch circle. 7 to 8 inch, maybe a little bigger, but I think about the 7 inches probably do it. Okay? And want to go ahead and flip your dough so it doesn't stick on your board. And this is just going to be awesome. You're just going to love it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and make some cinnamon sugar. With a teaspoon, a nice big teaspoon of cinnamon into a cup of sugar, and just mix that in. And now we're going to brush this with a little bit of butter. I've melted a cup of butter. And brush your dough with the butter and then with the good cinnamon sugar. So we're just going to come over and take about a teaspoon of the cinnamon sugar and put it right into the dough. Oh my goodness, is this ever going to be good. Alright, now we're going to take one of our little tins, and using your spatula, just pick up your dough, and it'll pick up nicely. This is so workable. Put it right over the top of your pie tin here, and just square that in there. And then kind of just separate that. Come on in the camera, and let's look at this. You don't have to necessarily have the whole bottom covered, but just kind of separate that. You want to use a cup of these wonderful peaches, or you can use any filling you want, but we love the peaches, and there's your cup. So we're going to put it right in the center. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Now we're just going to pull up your dough, and we're going to just make our little cobbler right there and pinch it up together, and there it is. Now we're going to sprinkle with a little bit more cinnamon sugar, and it is ready to bake. Doesn't that look beautiful? Well, let's make these guys, and we'll put them in the pan and bake them. Then we've just got to taste them. Oh, they're going to be wonderful. All right, be back in a sec. Well, now we're just about ready to put these in the oven, but I wanted to show you this last one so you can get the hang of it. Look how pretty that is. And so I'll make a little adjustments on the actual circle is about 9 inches around, and just put it right in the little pie tin there, and use about 1 1/4 cups of your filling. So now we're going to go ahead and just show you how we gather up those edges to a pretty little purse-like cobbler. And I also put an extra teaspoon of cinnamon in the cinnamon sugar. So it's 2 teaspoons to a cup of sugar. Well, there they are, folks. Let's bake them up and have some beautiful pot pie peach cobblers. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a great sensation for your family. They're going to love it. Be back in a minute. Well, here we are back, guys, and look at these delicious peach cobbler pot pies. Wow, look at those. We baked them at 450 degrees for 40 minutes. Oh my goodness, is that now mouth-watering right there? Can you see the juice in that? Well, each one gets their individual pot pie tonight for supper, and I think this is one of the greatest things you'll ever remember. So have fun, and be sure to make up these pot pies. Thank you. Bye.